Nice Guy Andy Podcast. Skullface Records Radio.
That ain't what your mama said.
If he keeps popping off at the mouth, I'm gonna be his daddy.
Anyways, you guys go on your little rinky-dink bullshit podcast.
This is a Zodiac, and I'm telling you now, meditate, elevate, and dominate. Do it with the Nice Guy Indie Podcast.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
But those were expensive shoes, you know.
Yeah,
you guys, that diamond is custom made.
Oh, dear Lord.
That's right.
What's up, everybody? It's Nice Guy Indie Podcast. You know what we do. It's Wednesday night. We watch AEW wrestling on the big screen while you guys make fun of us and we make fun of ourselves. Superfly, Johnny Lee.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, Superfly?
Nothing much.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We just got done enjoying some.
Great, man. That was great fun going down there to Upstart wrestling down in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. Is it Big Hill Drive?
It's Hilltop Drive.
101 Hilltop Drive. I keep saying Big Hill for some reason. Hilltop Drive, right down the road from, really, really close to the Wild Turkey Distillery. So, guys, if you get a chance, go down there every Sunday. This Sunday they're having the Super Bowl is, so they're not having a thing down there this Sunday. They're not having a card this Sunday, but next Sunday. The next Sunday after the Super Bowl,
That's right.
It's going to be a really big show, guys. You gotta come.
He's in a foul mood. He says that we disrespected him during AEW back on January 25th. Well, you know what? We've given him a chance to come in and disprove this. What's up, Donna Phillip? What's this I hear? Fandio's, yeah, he's looking for Austin Michaels. Did y'all see that video? Guys, Fandio is angry because he saw that Austin Michaels attacked some of his fellow men, fellow masked wrestlers. My brother's always going to be coming for the burritos, for the fajitas, for the, well, in his own words, the honeys. But you know what? Austin Michaels isn't scared of you, Fandito. You look inside my eyes, Fandito. Austin Michaels has your number. And a house call can be made. What's up, Gaffney?
So you got MJF in the ring right now fighting. What is this guy's name?
That is Takeshita.
Takeshita.
That's right, Takeshita. Great guy, by the way.
Sean Johns couldn't be with us tonight. He had to work his day job.
His shoot job.
Late, so we won't fire him this time. But
That's right. Good evening.
he will be on probation.
That's right. He's on probation, guys. So if you see him out and about with handcuffs to his ankles, don't ask questions.
He's gonna have that. We're gonna put one of those house arrest things on his feet, so he won't be able to leave the studio.
And hey, what's up, Jonathan Barnes?
Oh my God, what we got here?
Oh my God, someone's entering inside the studio now.
The Johnny Suede is here.
Excuse me.
The Dark Man. The Dark Man.
The dark one.
Johnny Dark. Johnny Dark, right?
Yes.
Johnny Dark.
Our guest is here, guys.
Go ahead and take a seat, Johnny, if you don't mind. Come back around this way with it. Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
I don't leave home without it.
Hey,
So the
we're
camera
fine here.
The camera's right over here. You see the blue light?
Yeah, unfortunately, I see that camera.
Yes, you see the camera.
I guess I put a dang on headset on.
Yeah.
Yes.
At least you give me my favorite color. I mean, unlike the Louisville Cardinals, you know.
Oh, red's your favorite?
Yeah.
This is Johnny Dark Suede, Jonathan Barnes.
Well, hello, Professor, I should say. Or Barnes.
Hey, they're all tuning in for you, brother.
Well, you got any questions, Andy?
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that. I don't know what's going on with my light over here behind
We're about to get to the questions. His light's just acting up.
I just got a little light shadow behind you off the wall, I guess. I don't know what else going on.
Donna Phil said you're a traitor,
Ugh,
Dark Johnny.
Ugh.
You don't like that?
Ugh.
You don't really?
Ugh.
He's disgusted.
Crap. Wait, is that?
You got some? You want some water or something? There's stuff in the other room if you want.
Oh, no, I stuffed canes. At least they have all them artifacts or whatever those things are over there.
Hey, that was a fan deal. That's not me.
It don't matter. I know
But-
who that truly was.
But you know, Scott Diamond said just now, Johnny is such a douche that when he goes to the bar, he orders a vinegar and water.
That's funny.
Well, see, the thing is, he may say that, but I always will give him credit
Yeah.
for where credit's due. Scott Diamond, when I first came to Kentucky, never booked me, not once. And if it wasn't for Scott Diamond, I wouldn't have grown in professional wrestling. So Scott Diamond is my mentor. He can talk all the trash he wants.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for Scott Diamond, Johnny Bad, and Tomahawk, mostly Johnny Bad and Tomahawk and Scott Diamond, there would be probably no Johnny Dark Suede.
Yeah.
And that's the truth.
Well, that's cool. Scott Diamond has influenced a lot of people in the Kentucky wrestling.
And I can't forget-
Virginia, Western Virginia, everywhere.
He's been around.
Yeah, he's been around.
Yeah, he's been around.
He's a great guy. He really
Yes.
is. He'll tell
Don't
you
let
he's
him
not,
tell-
but
yeah, that's what I'm
he'll
about to
tell
say.
you. He'll be like, I'm
And he's
mean,
got your
but-
back.
Yeah,
And-
he's a real
and-
good friend
and
of
the
mine.
thing is,
I
though,
consider him a real good friend of mine.
I've, like I said, I met Scott Diamond. God, it's been a long time ago, and I was a young kid at heart, and told me he would wrestle a broomstick before he would wrestle me.
Is that right?
And I was like, and I took that to heart.
Yeah, yeah.
So I got myself better. Got it under training under Johnny Bad, and so is Tomahawk. But better. Got it under training under Johnny Bad, and so is Tomahawk. But and then I also got behind Scott Diamond to whoever I could get. When I first came to Kentucky, I actually known as the Christian Warrior Johnny Suede.
Yeah.
I wrestled Zodiac as Cujo's promotion down in Georgetown.
Yeah.
I actually had the honor and privilege of learning a lot from Zodiac that night. And I still have utmost respect for him as well. Everybody that I've been in the ring with, I have the utmost respect for because you never stop learning. You never stop.
Yeah, Zodiac was our champion for a long time.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that turncoat that Scott Diamond decided to go with, we're not going to go there because he did something in front of my kids, but we'll leave that at a later date. That's why I'm this way now.
Yeah.
You can thank Scott Diamond for turning me back into this way. See, I was now.
Yeah.
You can thank Scott Diamond for turning me back into this way. See, I was representing autism.
He was a young Christian warrior, and now you're this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've always believed, but the thing is, the darkness always oversells the light. It always comes. It's always in me. It's always been there. But not onto that, but the autism. See, when Scott decided to...
You have autism yourself?
No, my son does.
Your son does,
yes.
okay.
My son, Daniel, he's 12 years old.
Yeah.
And my son, I support Autism and Breast Cancer Month. A dear friend of mine...
Is this breast cancer month?
No,
February?
hold on. No.
Okay.
It's Autism Month and my mother, by the way.
Oh, really?
But
Cool.
my stepmother, Nancy Roberts, she's a survivor. And
Of breast
also-
cancer?
Yes. And
Awesome.
her mom, who's no longer living,
Yeah.
fought. But that's another story for another day. But
They've done a lot with breast cancer.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of survivors from breast cancer. That's just it's really cool. And you know, we shout out your mother-in-law for being strong and
Oh, yeah.
and going past the cancer.
Oh yeah, she
recovery.
kicks his butt. I mean, she's still surviving, but there's
So talk to us about the autism of your son. I'm really interested in that because some of my guys are special guys. I don't know really what their abilities are, but Andrew Browning had a head injury when he was younger. Chris Blade has ADHD and some other things. Johnny has some stuff that goes on with him, but
And Slicky.
and Slicky J does too, and so these guys are they're just great characters around me, and I treat them just like they're normal guys, because they are to me. They're just great. Johnny's such. I mean, tell us about your autistic son.
Well, Daniel is 12 years old, but the thing is, though, I don't go a lot into detail because Daniel is I don't see autism. I mean, granted, he has it, but I see a strong child that actually is going to surpass everything else.
Yeah.
He's going to get past autism. It's not, and so does my brother's son as well, Sebastian Cage. I mean, everybody. It's just not a disease. It's there's going to be a cure for breast cancer or any kind of cancer in this universe. I mean, it's just one thing and after another. The fact is, autism, and a dear friend of mine, Marcus, by the way, his grandson has autism. I mean, the fact is, autism has kicked a lot of people's family down. But when you keep fighting for that, and my son is so smart. Yeah. He's so smart. And just, he lights up the world.
What does he like to do most?
Well, he likes
video games and stuff.
Well, he likes his DS, but he likes his sand timers. He likes trains, and he likes that. That's one thing.
Sand timers.
Yeah, sand timers.
Really, like hourglasses.
Yes, he loves those things.
Wow,
yes,
those things are really cool. Anyway,
yes, they are.
Yes, that is one. He loves those things. But my daughter, she's 4. She loves Daddy watching wrestling. But, when decided,
you're probably their hero, huh?
I try to be.
Yeah.
I just try to be great dad. Those two, I wouldn't trade for the world. Those two are my.
Well, that's awesome, man. We appreciate you being a good dad and telling us about your son, and that's cool. But so let's get to your wrestling skills.
Hell yeah,
your wrestling work.
Actually had a feud with in KEPW, which who I made tap out, Mr. King Logan Drake.
Oh man,
yes.
Logan Drake.
Yeah. He actually wrestles down there. And Tommy Wildfire Rich was actually down there, but I had a great time down there. I debuted down there, so I mean I'm going back March 4th. Me and Malicious Suede, who is my manager, who is actually taking care of some business tonight for me. So that's why she's not here. But
well, we kind of booked her tonight because she didn't. She had some stuff to do.
Yep.
Hey, she was busy.
Yeah,
that happens, Yeah. Like Sean John's, he should have been here, but he's working, so
it's all right.
Yeah.
But on to the thing, I wrestle for TSW.
It's been told that Austin Michaels is the leader of the Brotherhood,
Whoa. Let's get
one
thing straight. It's me, Joe Gold, and Austin Michaels are the original 3.
Okay.
See, I was originally supposed to be part of the Brotherhood when it started in GCW.
Okay.
So it's actually me, Austin Michaels, and Joe Gold.
Yeah.
So if Mr. Austin wants a little, I could do that too because we know this. See, I actually talked to both of them.
So Austin's not the leader?
He's not the leader. He's the manager. But see, there's no leaders. I don't consider nobody being the leader.
Yeah.
I'm just a mercenary. I don't care. As long as you pay me, I'm good.
Oh, so you can take out people.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've taken out Mike Murphy.
Yeah. He's still around, though.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
I mean, so was Super Sassy.
I hear he drops a mean elbow drop.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
It hurts
Oh, boy.
It hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
Joe Hamlin said, actually, Colt Wilds and me are the original from.
Okay, you know what I meant, Joe. Okay. I can't see what he's typing, but yeah.
And Kirkpatrick said, the Butterhood.
Yeah, well, he's not wrong. I mean, I've had, actually, when I came to Kentucky Zone Wrestling, AKK KZW, actually, Kirkpatrick was one of the first persons I actually wrestled, and I had the honor and privilege of wrestling him and tagging with him at KEPW. So, Kurt, I thank you.
Nice. And also, Michael said, my Brotherhood brother.
Austin Michaels.
Austin Michaels. What's up, Austin Michaels?
But there is a person that, a lot of people doesn't give credit due is Scott Diamond. And Bobby Doss.
Kirkpatrick said the butthole hood.
Well, the thing is,
the butthole hood.
Yeah, I mean,
He didn't actually say that. I said that, but
It is what it is. But just, remember, I do have Lucille over here.
Yep.
So,
I got one over there too.
well, mine's going to hurt. So, see, I get paid.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, Austin knows my price. So,
He really does.
I've wrestled pretty much all over the state of Kentucky. I've wrestled, but Scott Diamond, I remember one thing, and going back to my initial thing I wanted to say, me and Scott Diamond, I can't thank him enough.
Can't thank him enough.
Yeah, it's just, and so is Tomahawk and Johnny Bad. A lot of people want to give back, and I want them to know, without them, there would be no me. There would be no character. There would be no gimmick. I don't care, without Terry England, without anybody who runs a promotion, there would be no Johnny Suede
Have
or
you
without Van Dams.
have you wrestled down for Terry?
Actually, I have.
Yeah.
I actually, it was in somewhere in Tennessee. I forget where it's called. Cleveland, something like that. Cleveland, something like that. Yeah, I actually had the privilege of learning a lot from Terry. And again, awesome guy. Learned a lot from him as well, and still learning to this day. If you say in this business, if you want to stop learning, there's the door.
Yeah. Yeah. So the character looks pretty cool, like with the black and the white, and so when did you go dark? Like when did you go to the dark character?
When I first originally started Johnny Suede, that was actually the initial point. You can actually thank Scott Diamond for that too, as well. I mean, the character actually was always intertwined. Dark Suede I didn't really switch up Dark Suede until I became mad. That was the whole thing. But when you cross a line, and then you go to a personal line, that's when I flipped the script.
Yeah.
But Scott.
So sometimes you wear the red. What's that about?
It's a tribute. A lot of my stuff is mostly the autism, and then the pink and the black is a very tribute to my favorite wrestler. But I'm not going to tell you who that is because I'm not going to give it away.
You don't want to tell us who your favorite wrestler is?
No. I mean, everybody knows who my favorite wrestler is, and that's the reason. And
No.
It's
Who's his favorite wrestler? You don't know?
Nope.
It's a tribute to my favorite wrestler, and please, if you know who it is, please don't tell him because that's a tribute. But the pink and the black is for Breast Cancer Month, and I do the autism as well. I can't do the puzzle pieces quite right, but the tribute is to my favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
His son is.
Austin's awesome, man. Man,
I remember when
like,
Austin was a little
he's so
turd, but
good.
yes,
He's
yes.
so good on the microphone, dude.
And he's not even scratched the surface.
And he announces. He announced for KEPW
Yes.
down there, and when I first met him, he's just a genius with the microphone.
Yes.
Like he can cut a promo. I mean
Well, I mean, you have look at Scott.
yeah.
He's retired now.
Yeah.
I wanted one more match. I really did, but I had 2 matches with Scott. 2 matches.
You should have came down and got in the battle royal down there.
Well, I was kind of booked somewhere else. So
Oh,
Yep.
I was, and I told him,
Yeah.
I sent him a message and told him thank you no matter what, and I'm forever grateful for Scott because
Evil Nate.
Well, we got the
actually,
women's champ out there, right? Wrestling.
which actually I remember Mr. Evil Nate. I was actually wrestling for BCW Bluegrass Championship Wrestling. Mr. Nate got actually hurt, and I actually came in and took care of his business for him in BCW. Mr. JT Walker. I know Mr. Evil Nate knows about that. We're not going to have Walker. I know Mr. Evil Nate knows about that. We're not going to hash that out, but that was fun time because. But I've always, he's revamped himself.
Who, Nate?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, we haven't had a chance to get him in the. He's so busy. We haven't had to get a chance to get him in the studio. But he wants to. He's told us several times he wants to get in here. But
He's a busy man.
He's one of the greats.
I mean,
He's awesome, man. Every time I see him wrestle, it's just incredible, you know.
And Joe Hamlin said, "I'm blessed to be your friend and your enemy all in one."
Thank you, Big Joe. Thank you.
And Scott Diamond said, "He turned you babyface with just a handshake."
Actually, he did. When we actually, this is right prior before KEPW left.
Look at this up here.
And just it was before that duration where we had some stuff with the Frankfurt building and whatnot, but I'm not going to disclose that because that's none of everybody's business. Yeah. But we had a trouble with the building and the Legion, and that was the last time before we actually went away for a while. And Scott, because I didn't know where my career was going.
Yeah. Where you see your career going now?
Up.
Up.
I'm actually getting my February 25th. Actually, I'm going to St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh,
hell yeah!
I'm actually going to wrestle down there in St. Louis, Missouri. Dan, the Beast Severn will be down there.
Oh hell yeah!
So I am actually booked on that card. I don't know who I'm wrestling yet, so I've already sent out for my license. I've already got my test for blood work and everything. They passed flying colors.
Do they have a license in?
Yes, actually, you have to have a here in Kentucky. Of course, you have to have a license and in St. Louis, Missouri, you actually have to have a license.
Okay, so Missouri needs a license too. Okay,
That's correct.
okay.
A lot.
So they don't. If you got a Kentucky license, they don't like Missouri doesn't honor that.
Yeah, but it's not like that when you have if you're wrestling in Kentucky.
Yeah.
And you have to wrestle here. Well, you have to get a license for that state because it's not the exact same. Like Kentucky's the Commonwealth.
So is it easier to get like say you got a Kentucky wrestler license? Is it easier to get a Missouri license?
No.
No.
Because you actually have to do a lot different stuff than you have to do a Kentucky wrestling license.
Well, yeah, you got to get a physical and stuff like that. Yeah, but Missouri's you don't.
Actually, you do.
You have to get a license down there.
You have to get blood work.
Oh, okay. So what are they looking for blood work? Like steroids or something?
No.
What are they looking like just for diseases?
Correctamundo.
Yeah, so they want you to bleed on somebody and get disease. Okay.
And Donnie Green said real quick, "No, it's state per state." I guess he's mean about the licenses.
a lot of states don't have a license anymore.
Correct.
That's what I understand. I think there's like 5 or 6 maybe.
I know Orleans. New Orleans has one.
New Orleans, so Louisiana,
Yep, Louisiana. Excuse me. Thank you. And then I know St. Louis, Missouri.
Missouri, Kentucky.
Of course,
I think I'm wanting to say Anthony Presley told me like 5. There's like 5 states, but I can't remember for sure. But I think that's what he told me.
Actually, I do have to give Mr. Donnie Green a shout out because he actually gave when I came to work for WCCW way back when, he actually gave me one of my first bookings. So Donnie Green, thank you very much, sir. By the way,
Where did you? Where was that at?
Lawrenceburg.
Hell yeah!
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We're now New South.
Yep.
Wrestling.
Yeah.
Wildcat Championship.
You was down
Wrestling.
there Sunday
Where this past Sunday?
in New South. You wasn't down there.
No, he wasn't there this past.
Oh, you was at
Sunday.
you was at AEW when we were there.
Yeah.
You was at the AEW.
The one that he said that we disrespect him at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were in a hurry. We had to get Johnny turns into a pumpkin after 12, so we had to get him home before he
We
came
had time.
No,
it
I
was
actually,
Sean that snubbed you.
yeah, I actually had to
It's
get
okay.
home.
You know what? But here's the deal.
Yeah.
I ain't getting disrespected no more. That's plain and simple.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're not disrespecting anybody right here.
That's why we made sure
just put
Sean
over
stayed
wrestling.
home.
We just put over wrestling, you know. Sean May is he not coming at all?
He's not coming at all.
Okay.
Hey, Kirkpatrick said Virginia. Marcus Fine said Wisconsin also requires a license. And Jonathan Holiday said Johnny Suede and Jake Elliott would burn it down.
Actually, I was actually supposed to. When we actually was supposed to start back in, I believe it was November. Me and Jake Elliott was actually supposed to wrestle each other for his championship, but that didn't happen. But I do wrestle for another company called AACW in Kokomo, Indiana. That's one of my home bases too as well. I travel. I don't stay in one place anymore because it's
You got to
hard.
do that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm
you
sure
definitely got
Scott gave you that advice
Oh yeah.
a long time ago.
Yes.
But you're getting I mean, you got a lot of views right now. Like, you got
Yes,
a lot of
he
people
does.
watching you. You're very popular.
Well, the thing is, though, I try to.
The TSW guys always like. The TSW fans always watch us. We got a lot of those tonight. But you've got a lot of fans watching you right now.
I appreciate them because, like, I've been told by Mr. Diamond and Mr. Tomahawk and Johnny Bad, or any professional wrestler would tell you, without the fans, we're nothing.
Yeah. So how did you change? I know Scott can be hard-headed sometimes. How did you change his mind about you? Because he's always like me, I think, but I've only known him for about a year or two. But he's always like me. But he told you he wouldn't wrestle you over. He'd wrestle a broom over you. So how did you change that man's mind? That's what I want to know.
I worked my butt off.
So you worked your ass off on it,
Correct him.
and you listened to him.
Well, just not him.
Yeah.
You ask. I mean, I'm not breaking the fourth wall, but there's things in this business you learn from.
Yeah.
You learn from every person.
Yeah.
Whether you're outside, inside, you take what people give you and take it, and you learn from that.
Yeah. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yes,
Exactly.
And Scott is one of them hard cases who will either he will.
Well, he'll tell
break-
you the truth. If he don't like you, he'll fucking straight
You
up tell
damn
you he
straight.
don't like you.
Yes,
But then he's open to where you can change his mind,
correct.
because if you don't like you, he'll give you
Oh, he
another
didn't
chance.
like me. He will tell you, I did not like you. He couldn't stand me.
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, I will and I like I said, I will thank him until he's 6 feet under.
Yeah.
And I gotta hope that doesn't happen. Knock on wood.
Yeah,
But you
that's
know,
a metal table.
yeah. Well, yeah. Well, at least something, you know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, Scott Diamond, he hated my guts. He couldn't stand me looking at me in a ring.
Yeah.
With it couldn't.
Because you hadn't
I was
you
terrible.
hadn't been trained properly.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but learning from each individual, whether it's a vet, whether it's a different person, whoever's in the business,
Yeah.
you learn from that person. The fact is, if it wasn't for Scott Diamond, Johnny Bad, whoever, and Larry D too, I mean, the list goes on. I can't think.
Have you wrestled Larry?
No, I have not.
No.
I actually.
What did Larry teach you? And tell us a story. Tell you a
Just-
story about Larry.
Larry just is Larry.
Yeah.
I have, and I've learned from Max. So I was doing a.
Max is awesome.
Yes, I learned.
I
You just can't.
Max
It's
is
just
so funny, dude. He's so good on the mic. He's so funny, and he'll play around with you and joke with you. But he's and when he's got a show going on, don't talk to him because he's serious. He's serious business. He don't even act like he knows who you are. When he's got a fucking show going on, he's serious about that show. And he'll stand over the corner and he don't even want nobody to talk to him usually.
That's right.
But like he likes his business, man. He takes care of that business. He's so cool that he'll switch on the comedy and switch off on the seriousness.
Now there's speaking of, well, there's a legend in our business who's been to WrestleMania, who's been a ref. There's one man besides Scott Diamond, Johnny Bad, and everybody else. And Tomahawk and Larry Jones, or excuse me, Larry D.
Yeah.
Is Roger Ruffin,
Roger Ruffin.
the Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah, I met
Hell
Roger.
yeah.
Hold on. Roger Ruffin,
Roger Ruffin.
the Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah, I met
Hell
Roger.
yeah.
Hold on. Roger Ruffin. I was learning, he's now known as, him on TV as Carl Anderson. I knew him as Chad Allegra.
Yeah.
I have actually had the pleasure of being in the ring with Jay Donaldson, Ryan Stone, and Anthony Bryan, and Wildcat Chris Harris, and the late, great Tracy Smothers. Tracy, I have learned, when me and my brother, before my brother got sick,
His name come up so many times.
Yep.
His name comes up like every podcast is just about.
Tracy, I learned so much from. But
Yeah.
Roger Ruffin, I have the utmost respect for.
We met Roger up
And
in Cincinnati.
It was
Cincinnati?
NWF. Yep.
It was NWF. I know it's NWF, but we were in Cincinnati, weren't we?
correct. It was
And
probably Bone Crushers. It was probably Bone Crushers Pro Pro Wrestling Center where he actually
Well, no,
trains.
we were at some kind of baseball thing place. Baseball practice thing.
I don't know, but
It was an
was that where
NWF
we were?
event.
That's not their main event center, though, is it?
No.
That's a nice place to put a show on.
It is. And it's been packed.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I walked up to Roger, and he was like, I had my belt, and he took a picture with me in the belts, the belts we have here, the podcast belts, and he put over the show, taking down stuff and taking up the ring and stuff. And
Roger
we joked with him a little bit.
Roger, like I said, learning from one of the man's actually been to the show.
Yeah,
And WrestleMania 3 of all things. I mean, I'm 42.
I think it was 8, but was it 3?
It was 3.
Really?
Yeah.
I think.
Yep.
That's when Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant.
Really?
That's right.
All right.
Because you actually, on his profile pic, well, there's several of them, he's right there.
Okay.
With Roddy Piper. And, but Roger, I've learned, I was in Wilmington, Ohio, and I actually wrestled. It was me and Nick Titan.
Yeah.
It was me and Titan versus David Tyler and Jay Donaldson, and I flew off the case. I was nervous. Trust
Hell
me.
yeah.
Wow, I bet.
Yes, I was in front of my kids, my mom.
Did you land good?
Almost.
Almost landed good.
I was just.
Did you
flying.
get hurt?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
get hurt.
so
Yeah,
that's good. That
I
was an
nervous,
accomplishment.
but
Johnny, you got any questions for him? Just jump in
Well,
there if you got
there's
questions.
someone that wants to tell you, Jake Elliott. He said, "I would have loved to work with you."
maybe sooner than later, Jake.
Hey.
I gotta take care of. Well, before you get to your question, so just the promotional things. See, there's TSW, there's TCW, which is going to be February the 18th in Jeffersonville, Indiana, the arena, which and Scott knows.
So
this.
you're gonna be wrestling for TCW?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll be at the arena.
Is that your first time wrestling? for
Actually,
them?
there.
Okay.
This is a bucket list for me. So I'm wrestling this
Okay.
guy named is Chris Chaos, the bulletproof. I can't say what I want to say towards him, but I'll deal with him on the 18th. But and Marcus Fine will be there, so I'll deal with him at that date.
Yeah.
Because I got something to say to him, but I can't say it here, so yeah.
That's right.
You can say it
no,
here.
it's not kid friendly. So
We're not very kid friendly.
Well, I try because I respect. That's just me.
Yeah.
But this week in a cage match, I don't know who my opponent is in Ohio, and then I got the 18th TCW, and then the 25th in St. Louis, Missouri, and then March 4th back in Zanesville, Ohio. So
That's right.
I stay pretty busy. I mean, professional wrestling is just not. It's a dream for me. It's not just a wake up and say, hey, well, I got to go to work today. No, I've been wanting to become a professional wrestler since I was a kid. People had their, they wanted to be a police officer or a firefighter or whatever. I wanted to be a professional wrestler.
Yeah. So when you were a kid, about what age? Like 8? 6, 7,
Actually,
8?
I want to say about 4 or 5.
4 or
Hell
5?
yeah.
What was you watching when you said, "Hey, that's what I want to be"? What?
I actually was watching back in the day. A lot of people, if you know your wrestling history, NWA was at that time.
Yeah.
WCW was starting to come a little, but you had the Worldwide Wrestling Federation. Vince Senior was just giving it to Vince Junior.
Yeah.
So it was at that time it was WWF. It was Worldwide Wrestling Federation.
Yeah.
So and then it became World Wrestling Federation.
Hell
So
yeah.
I've actually, and then Saturday Night Main Event, Superstars, all of that. See, I know my history of wrestling. That's one thing Mr. Diamond also told me. Research your history of professional wrestling.
That's right.
Nick Depp says it's Wednesday night.
And he also sent us 500 stars. Thank you, Nick Depp.
Well, thanks, Nick Depp. Who is Nick Depp? I don't know. Has he watched
Actually, I know Mr.
Yes.
Nick Depp actually wrestles for WWA.
before? Cool.
Yes.
Nice to meet you, Nick. Thank you for the stars.
And we met him at AEW.
It's Wednesday. And you know what it means? It means we watch wrestling.
And I think that I saw him wrestle for KPW in 2021.
Oh, really?
He probably did. I think so too.
Nice to. Is he?
He actually, I don't know if he's still the champ of World Wild something Alliance. I know it's WWA in Livermore, Kentucky, Owensboro, Kentucky, all down that area. I know that for a fact.
Cool. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We just keep on.
There you go.
We just keep going.
Greg,
This show just keeps on getting bigger and bigger.
Chris.
Oh, look, sparkly jacket.
Andrew Dew Browning says, "What's up, Dark Suede?"
Well, Andrew and I have a long history.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Andrew was actually one of the first people to. Is actually a true friend of mine. When Andrew fell out, don't know him, and a business respect on the business, and I have nothing but love and respect for Andrew.
Everybody knows Andrew.
Yeah. Him and his John Cena belt.
Yeah.
You
Which
and Joe.
He knows, by the way, I do not. Everybody in this business, if you don't know me, no, I do not. I can't stand John Cena.
You get your ass out of here then.
Well, then I will.
Hey, Nick Jackson
you know-
is not the champion, but Joe Hamlin said you and him still got unfinished business.
Well, Mr. Hamlin,
You know,
whenever you're in Tennessee, because you can't wrestle anymore, I'll knock you one too.
You know, I never really liked John Cena much either, but
Let's not give him our time. It's my time.
Since
That's true.
I just want to say, since he's been on that show Peacemaker, I've really started liking John Cena lately. So, have you seen that show?
I've actually no. I will.
It's
not
so
watch-
funny,
okay.
dude. I'm
I
telling you,
thought
if you
he-
don't
okay.
like John Cena, you watch Peacemaker show, you'll like him.
Okay, I seen the Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah.
It was pathetic.
You don't like?
Him, no. Okay, I liked everything else but his part.
Okay. So you did not like John Cena. Okay.
I-
We won't talk about John Cena no more.
Correct.
He's good in that show, though.
That's right.
Well, I will give him credit.
He's a good actor.
In the Fast 9, I actually watched that.
He's a good actor.
He actually played a decent character as Vin Diesel's brother. I will say that is all he's getting from
What
me.
do you think about
That's
Batista?
true.
Batista's got a new movie out, too, right now.
We're
You don't like Batista either? He's got a new movie out. He's a hell of a movie star, right?
Yeah, but this is Johnny Suede's time.
Yeah,
and I ain't no movie star, so
yeah. You
Donna
might,
Phillips
you
said-
might be on a movie at some point. You never know.
Donna Phillips said Mike Murphy's going to take care of you this Saturday.
I think Zodiac's going to be in a movie soon. I think somebody said.
Zodiac inside movie would be great.
Oh, Mike
She
Mike
said
Murphy's
Mike-
going to take care of you.
Yep.
this Saturday.
No, not this Saturday.
I won't be.
I misread it.
Hold on. March 4th, I will not be there. If that's what you're talking about, Miss Phillips, I won't be there. I've already. You need to listen. March 4th, I will be in Zanesville, Ohio.
Zanesville, Ohio. And who's up there again?
SCW.
SCW. Have we? Did he? I don't think I've ever heard of them. Have you heard of them?
I've heard of
They're kinda-
SCW.
yeah.
SCW. I'm just hearing it now. It's good because I love hearing about new not new but like new to me
Right.
new wrestling
Yep.
And
because there's so many, dude. There's so many.
Well, there was
And everybody seems to be putting on really good shows. They really do.
Well, there was a company that also was known as IWA, and the late great Bull Miller was actually down there. So I mean, I have a lot of people that I'm thankful for.
I think this is due.
and whatnot. So I enjoy professional wrestling. So
I think dude's calling in for you, Johnny.
Do is that you?
What up, what up?
Wow, Andrew Dew Browning.
oh, what's up, Andrew?
What's up, Sway?
Not much, sir. Hey, see,
Or
at least
Dark.
yeah, well, it's okay, Andrew. I know what you are.
Yeah.
You and your Kentucky crap.
He said he gonna
Well,
take that.
they-
He said he might take that belt from you.
No,
Andrew?
I don't want his belts. See, I don't want anybody's belt my own.
No.
That's all. I
You don't want a championship belt?
don't want his championship. I always
He's a
want his
champ. He carries that belt around all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, like Kentucky is going to become champions this year too. Like the Cincinnati Bengals choked all the time.
Yeah, that was bad.
Oh.
Wasn't it bad?
No, it was funny.
You thought it was funny.
Yeah,
So are you
got the-
really from California?
yeah.
Okay.
I grew up in the dark side, the mean streets of. I was raised by a single mother.
Hey, Andrew, you got any questions for Johnny?
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't forget the day that he. I'm just saying I won't forget the day he came and rescued me from that night when I felt bad sick that night.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Hey.
That's so sweet. He rescued you. He's your knight in shining armor.
That's a little swish right there. I mean, I know we're in a professional wrestling thing, but I know Andrew don't flow like that.
Yeah, maybe you don't never know.
Andrew's a great guy though.
He is cool. He's really good.
But I won't forget our feuds that we had back at KCW.
Well, that's when
I'm just trying to reignite that. I'm just trying to reignite that feud. Is what I'm trying to do.
you can extinguish that.
There's
though,
no reuniting the feud. But Andrew does really good feuds with people.
See, the thing is though, Andrew knows I have nothing but love and respect.
He had a great feud. He has a great feud with Big John
Gilbert.
Big John Gilbert.
Yeah, boy.
Hey, they're actually best friends now because they sit next to each other and they
Oh,
were
what
friendly.
about the interview you just did? Big Rig.
Big
Yep.
Jake break. Yeah.
That was awesome, man. That's nice. That was cool.
Actually, I know Big Jake. Actually, there's another. There. Speaking of Big Jake, I actually remember a promotion I used to work for too. It was AMW.
You just burp on my podcast,
Appalachian.
Andrew.
I was trying to keep it quiet.
Yep. Kyle Mager.
He said, "I'm trying to keep it quiet."
Sorry.
Kyle Mager.
Hey, if you're gonna burp really loud. Don't try to sneak one in now.
Let's not say we did. How
That's right.
Oh man, I'm impressed. You got the Big Rig on your podcast, on your live.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
you're gonna have to start doing those on the Nice Guy Indie podcast page.
Yeah, I'll post it on the page here in a little bit. I'm about to go to bed and I had to work today.
Oh, you had to work today. Did you make a lot?
Yeah.
Did you make a lot of coffees?
Yeah, I was on the POS system a lot too.
Heck yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna have to come over there and get a coffee from you whenever I can.
Oh, hold on. Y'all drink coffee?
I don't really, but
You just, hold on.
Andrew works at a
I
coffee
don't
shop,
drink
so
coffee.
I'm gonna go over there and drink one just because.
Now you sound like malicious.
I don't smoke cigars either, but I smoked a cigar the other night at the Moose Lounge podcast, and I got fucking sick, dudes. I was puffing on that fucking cigar, man, and I was drinking bourbon, and all of a sudden the fucking bourbon kicked in, and the nicotine kicked in, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta run to the bathroom.
I won't
Worst
forget the
combo.
episode.
Hey, I was
Episode with Nate.
oh
man.
yeah, Nate got drunk too. Guys, out there in podcast world, I am on the Moose Lounge podcast, which dropped today. If you can go on Spotify and listen to me talk to Moose, Baby Buffalo wasn't there; he was sick, but y'all can check it out. It's on Spotify. Go over and give that a listen. Hopefully, I'll make you laugh a little bit, maybe make you cry a little bit, and whatever.
Hey, he's had Anthony Presley.
What are you doing, Andrew? You sound like you're working out. Are you getting busy with somebody, or are you working out over there?
No.
Hold on.
Huh?
Okay.
You hear him? Like he's like
I hear you.
puffing.
I was about to play some Call of Duty.
Okay.
Call of Duty?
Does that mean you going to the bathroom?
No.
No.
I mean Call of Duty. Sorry.
Yeah, called the
Call of
duty.
Booty.
Called the duty. It's like taking a big dump.
He said call of Booty.
Andrew, I'm sorry for Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I'm truly sorry. I'm truly sorry for Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Hey, Andrew's one of our biggest friends.
What your mom
Anyway,
Anyways,
Yes.
Hey, Andrew, I'm gonna let you go, baby.
We love you, Andrew.
We love you, buddy.
all right.
Next, I'm gonna let. I want you to do one of those interviews on the podcast page at some point.
Okay.
I'll probably make you one of the administrators, and you can do interviews on there every once in a while.
Oh, that's cool.
You want to do it?
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Heck yeah, man. All right, buddy.
Sounds
We'll see
good.
you.
All right. See you, Sway.
All right, later, brother.
Andrew Dubrow, one of the podcast guys. Yeah, he had a big interview with Big Rig Jake. Is it Jake?
Yeah, it's Jake.
Jake break.
Jake Break.
Yep.
Is he still on there?
Yes.
Yeah.
thought I hung
He's
up
still
on
on
Apparently,
there.
you do not know how to work.
I thought I hung up on you.
He has
Later,
forgotten
Andrew.
how
Hit
to
the red
work the
button.
phone.
I thought he hung up
Hit
on
the red
me.
button.
Ah. Kirkpatrick said Andrew is calling some booty.
Kurt, call. You can call Kirk if you want. Is this your first match with Kurt?
One of my first original matches.
Call in, Kurt, if you get a chance.
Yeah, call in Kirk. I'll send you the number
It was
again.
it was actually at KZW. I've had a lot of wrestling matches at KZW, but my fondest actually.
Yeah, what is your favorite match? I mean, you jumped off the cage. I think that's cool.
I actually just don't have one.
You don't have a favorite match?
Actually, I have several, but one of them has to do with Scott.
Yeah? You had a match with Scott?
Actually, had two.
Hell
The first time it was a build-up for a long. This is way before I was coming out to Bad Company. And then I initiated changing my music to "Love the Way You Hate Me" by Like a Storm. By the way, real fast, I'm gonna do a plug. My favorite band ever, Five Finger Death Punch.
Hell yeah, great
Okay.
band.
So, which me and Ivan Moody of the lead singer have the same birthday.
Hell yeah. I got, my birthday is the same birthday as Cardi B.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
But my favorite match, and it's just not. I don't have.
Who's this?
I really don't have.
I have no idea.
Match with is my first match was Super Assassin. One of them is with Scott, and just I have so many. But Mickey Knuckles, I actually had the pleasure of wrestling Mickey Knuckles and learning from her. Stan Sierra, and
I hear she's tough as shit.
Yes, she is.
is tough.
Is she still wrestling?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's actually
Get her
still
on the
wrestling.
podcast.
I will.
But Tracy, learning from Tracy,
Who's this mascot that come out?
and whatnot. That's just
Oh, Tracy Smothers? Tracy Smothers comes up every podcast.
JD Thunder, who I got to thank as well.
Who is this? Oh, it's Jericho.
Chris Jericho.
But anyway, we're not worried about AEW. You can watch
Hey.
it later.
Jonathan Barnes said, your favorite matches are any that have the professor as a referee.
I remember with a road trip with Mr. Barnes. Actually, I did my first one of later mid-COVID shows, and actually it was me and Big Frank Vanover, and Barnes actually went to Nebraska. And I'll tell you right now, I would do that trip in a heartbeat. I know I probably wasn't the nicest person to be with, but I would still do it with them. I enjoyed learning that road because it was a trip from front to back, and I'll do it again.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I like John Barnes. Dang it, John! I'm gonna kill you. His dad actually.
Such a happy guy John is.
His dad. Let me tell you this little story. I've got to get this on my chest.
He always frowns every time I see him.
Barnes' dad actually. I was his favorite wrestler.
Okay.
Lane Barnes. Lane Barnes was a great guy.
Yeah.
He passed away, but a few
Okay.
years back.
Okay.
And if you don't know who Lane Barnes is, a.k.a. Pops, a.k.a. Wildcard, Scott knows him. And, I mean, Barnes, of course.
Yeah.
Good man, respectful to the locker room, anywhere and everywhere he went. But he was...
Was he a wrestler too, or just
No,
a fan?
He was just a fan. He was
Just a
John's,
fan?
he was John's
I think
dad.
John's told us about him.
He is one of the nicest people you ever meet. Me and Zoe Nightshade one night in tribute to Lane Wildcard, a.k.a. Pops, came out with his cane and walked to the ring and dedicated the match to Pops and whatnot. It was a class act. Because
That's awesome,
I mean,
man. You to me seem like you have a lot of respect for everybody in the business and the fans. So we appreciate that.
Well,
we try to be the same way.
If you don't know, there's a guy, you probably heard of him, Jeffrey Carter. If you don't know who Jeffrey Carter is, he was passed away, he was 19 years old. And there's another guy I'm getting ready to mention there, and I'll tell you the real tribute to the Paint in a minute. Jeffrey Carter was 19 years old, deaf. Fiji actually knows him.
Yeah.
And because a lot of people know.
Yeah, they're
Fiji's
deaf.
actually-
They know each other.
Yes. And actually, Ram Jam is actually deaf too as well, and so
Yeah.
is his brother.
Yeah.
And I actually had the pleasure of wrestling Fiji and Ram Jam. I haven't had the pleasure of wrestling his brother, which I would be honored to wrestle both of them at the same time.
Yeah.
With Fiji,
Yeah.
I would love.
Hell yeah.
I would honestly love for me and Fiji. I know Miss Lady Inferno's his tag team partner some most of the times, but I would love for me and Fiji to wrestle the Deaf World Order
Yeah.
and Barnes being the referee.
Well, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Why can't we make that
there
happen?
There you
I'm
go,
sure we
Barnes.
can-
There's your plug.
I'm sure we can make that happen down in
But,
TSW or
I
somewhere,
will-
TCW
yeah.
somewhere.
I would love that, but Jeffrey was 19 years old. Me and Super Assassin Fiji.
What happened to him?
He actually passed away of just all of a sudden. He was really sick. It was like late September, and then I see.
Was he just a fan?
He was actually our photographer for.
Oh, he was the
KZW.
photographer. Okay.
Yeah, he was actually KZW's photographer, and he ended up getting sick, and we had the cage free match, and then that November he ended up passing. I think it was like 2
Rest in peace to what's his name again?
Jeffrey Carter.
Jeffrey Carter. Rest in peace, Jeffrey Carter.
And the tribute is for another friend, a dear friend of mine, and why I really do it. His name is Chris Taggett, also known as Judas Kane.
You okay?
Who passed away about 2 years ago.
Oh yeah.
The tribute is for him.
Oh, the mask is for him. Okay.
The paint is for him.
Okay. Did you started doing it then?
More. I used to do it every once in a while, but
Yeah.
the tribute is.
You seem to do it every match now, right?
Unless I'm burning up,
Yeah.
which is too hot wherever I'm at. But very seldomly, I paint it everywhere. It's because.
Do you always do like the white on that side and the black on that side,
or, whatever,
do you?
or the vice versa colors?
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yeah.
So you just whatever you're feeling like that day.
Sounds
I always
good.
like the black and the white. He's always like the yin yang of me. I'm a yin yang guy. I got a yin yang
I
up
see
here
that.
that
I
a
see
friend
that.
of
Well,
mine
okay.
painted it.
But Chris Taggett actually passed away. Actually,
Was he a wrestler? Chris Taggart was a wrestler.
he was also known as Junior Kane. He wrestled down in BCW for Bluegrass Championship Wrestling.
Okay. Is Bluegrass still running shows?
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
Adam Nuisance, myself, and a couple other guys who were pallbearers. I actually had
You must have been really close with this guy.
he was my brother. I considered him a dear friend and a brother.
Yeah. Well, how did he pass?
COVID got him.
COVID got him. Wow.
With the pneumonia, and well, just not COVID, but
He got COVID and then got pneumonia and passed away. That
was-
sucks, man.
Yeah, he left a little boy.
Yeah.
So I mean, which he looks like little Brandon. He's a spitting image of his daddy.
Yeah.
And I just can't thank Chris for his friendship and brotherhood. And I know there's a guy named his wrestling name was Arson, and his real name is Nick Little, and he's got a tattoo of Judas Kane on his arm, which I'm actually going to get mine sooner than later because it's a tribute to I have when you lose friends and family. Some people you this is a brotherhood. When you lose friends, when you lose brothers, when you lose sisters in this business, it's hard to handle. And especially with those three, when Tracy especially,
Yeah.
I learned so much from Tracy. And when you give back to this business, it's hard. And to tell everybody thank you for what they've done for your career.
Scott Diamond.
Oh, Scott Diamond's calling.
The boss is
The
calling.
boss, man.
How are you gentlemen?
I thank
Doing
you.
fine.
And you know why I'm saying thank you.
Yeah.
You know why.
This guy really looks up to you, Scott.
You know, he's come a long way. You know, I don't want to interrupt the story. It's a very touching story.
Oh, we appreciate you calling. I'm sure it's making his day that you're calling.
Well, yeah, my dinner is about ready, so I didn't want to. I wasn't going to be on here much longer, but I wanted to call in and just say a few words, if you guys don't mind.
Oh, you go ahead. You're
Go right on
always
ahead.
welcomed here, and we got you coming up. You're going to be coming on March the 2nd and hosting the show, so I appreciate that too.
Hey, you know what? You know you've made it when you get to be the host of Nice Guy Andy's podcast, brother.
That's right.
Thank you. That means a lot coming from you, Scott.
Hey, look, thousands and thousands of hours of TV, 3 movies, countless matches in the wrestling business. And now, finally, after 40 some odd years, I made it big, man. I appreciate you guys letting me do it.
Thanks, Scott.
Hey, look, Johnny Suede sitting over there. I want to say a couple of things to this cat, and I want the whole world to know it. You know what? Is Johnny Suede going to main event, Corrigan Hall, or is he going to main event Madison Square Gardens? Probably not, but here's the deal. He came to me many years ago, and just to help out a little bit on the story he was telling, it was the Invisible Man. I told Johnny before I would ever book him, I would wrestle all 6 matches myself, and I would book myself against the Invisible Man, and I probably won't go over one time, but I still wouldn't book you. That was a very harsh thing to say to a young man, and
sometimes that needs to be said. So,
well, I was a little bit younger. I hadn't kind of shaved off some of the edges yet. I still got a few edges to shave off. So I was a little coarse. But the business, when you're on the backside of the business, it's hard to fathom the pressure that is on you. You might be out there in front of 10 people. You might be out there in front of 10,000. Now, I've never worked in front of 10,000, but I have worked in front of 1,000 or so. So there's a lot of pressure there. And so, not that I'm looking for excuses or anything like that for what I said, but that has a lot to do with it. And I'm really glad, that Johnny Suede took that information and, said, hey, piss on that old prick one way or another. I'm going to get him to book me. And here's the thing. Johnny Suede is not the greatest wrestler of all time, but he is a good worker. He will listen. He gets heat. He is a good worker. He will listen. He gets heat. Just crazy heat when he's out there doing stuff, especially with Scott Diamond.
He's got people watching tonight, so.
And, I could not. He has always had this passion for the breast cancer and for autism, but he was always a heel, as I was most of the time. And one night I just told him, "Look, man, you've gotten so much better. You're getting bookings everywhere, and they don't give those things away. Now, there is companies out there that they hurt a little more for workers than others." And I'm not saying Johnny Suede hangs out at those places, because he doesn't. But he's all over the page. And so he took the information that I gave him, being an asshole that I was, and maybe still am. But I want to preserve wrestling. The same speech I was giving those 2 young ladies the other day at New South. And I hope they take it the same way Johnny Suede did. Johnny Suede took it and said, you know what? I'm going to show this old bastard. He's going to book me. And the thing that I have to really give him credit for is his persistence. He kept coming back. Mr. Diamond, always been very respectful, even when I treated him like a dick. Mr. Diamond, will you book me? Hey, do you have an opening? Hey, did somebody call in today? Because there's always people calling in on days of the show. It's just part of the business. So you're having to Tony had to fill in a guy last week. You guys see.
Yeah.
That happens. It just happens. But when you get a guy like Johnny Suede and he keeps coming back, time after time after time, finally, he wore me down, and I said, well, let's see what the hell you got, kid. And he's been drawing heat or getting shine, if you will, whichever the case may be, ever since. And that really is what makes. And if you get up there and you put on, now, some of us old cats like those clinics, but a lot of the fans cannot stick with a Lou Thez, Buddy Rogers type match. They can't stay with it. So we use a little bit of wrestling and a whole lot of working. And Johnny Suede is a decent worker by all means. He, I'm glad to see that he's doing the things that he is. And we had a couple of matches, and
By the way, how is your testicle still?
Well,
and you know where I'm going with this.
Johnny not only hit me in my diamonds, he about broke my damn nose. He hit me in the nose, I think, with that baseball bat, Lucille of his. I think is what it was.
Right.
Yeah.
It was.
You brought the
It
jumper
was a
cables
knockdown, drag out.
But the thing is, though, you brought the jumper cables out. That was my light bulb.
That's what he picked my diamonds with. And I can tell you, it did not jumpstart me.
We was at that show, right? Was we at that show?
It's been a while back.
I don't know.
It's been a while back, but you could see.
Funny enough, the two matches that Johnny and I had, both of them were anything goes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
And I can't. And I've told you this, whether it be text, messenger, it doesn't matter. And I thank you. I've always thank you, whether it's after a match, and I still to this day am going to take, and like I said, knock on wood, I know this is metal, but even when you're in the ground, I'm going to thank you. Because you got one, pardon me, I normally don't say this, and you know this, you got one hell of a kid to live the legacy of you. You have that. Both your
He's
kids,
doing a great job,
I mean, both your kids is carrying on that name. I mean, Kia's...
Well, I'll tell you, Kia liked to kill Johnny on that first... I was carrying the heavyweight championship at the time. And so, of course, Johnny goaded me a little bit. And when I get out in front of the people, as a United States Marine or a jarhead, leatherneck, whatever you want to call me, I've got that bulldog mentality. And I can say to you, man, not today, I ain't feeling it. But if you try to make me look bad in front of the people, brother, it's going to be on. I don't care if I got to wrestle in dress shoes, if I got to wrestle naked, or however I got to do it. And he just happened to do that day. And I was trying to have a nice day. I wasn't booked to work. I was just there celebrating, the championship win the week prior. My mother was there.
Hook, line, and sinker.
See, and that's something Johnny Suede has learned over the years. He knows the triggers that trigger Scott Diamond. And, I've had a hand in probably 90% of the guys and girls in the state of Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana, Ohio, and West Virginia. I've probably had a hand in a lot of, without doubt, I've had a hand in a lot of people's careers, helping them get in and things like that. And it really makes you feel good when you got a guy like Johnny Suede, because no matter what the situation, if you can learn something and take something away from it, whether you win, lose, or whether you get drugged up the street by a bus, if you learn something, then it was worth it. And Johnny Suede has done exactly that. He's learned how to get the heat. He's learned how to pull the trigger on myself. But the thing, again, going back to that he's got to watch for, my daughter was there that night, and I don't know if you gentlemen have met my daughter.
I have, yes.
But Kia Marie will put her hair in a ponytail and ready to box in a heartbeat.
I remember that. I remember that night because Austin.
Well, they threw Austin and Jessica out. Yeah. Austin threw a soda at Johnny. Yeah.
Actually, it was water. It was actually water.
Was it water? I knew he had something in a cup and he threw it at you.
Yeah.
Look, I just got done being drugged around the damn ring by my neck. I mean, things were a little cloudy. But I do remember him throwing something on you, throwing the cup with some type of liquid on you. And I remember Pork Chop saying, "Oh, well, now you're thrown out. You got to leave." Right. And then Jessica getting up and, saying, well, you got to throw him out and get him in.
And I'm giving Jessica the business. I'm giving all of you. And I told you, I was like, you know what? You gonna play. I'm gonna play with fire. And trust me, I learned. And guess what? I still will play with fire. And you know me. Because I learned. I know what I'm doing. Because I learned.
Right on. But the thing was that night, truthfully, security threw out the wrong one.
Exactly.
Because she's not only is she big and as bad as she wants to be, right. She's smart enough to ride that fine line to where she's not going to be thrown out. But if you get close enough to her, brother Katie bars the door.
Correct. Oh, I didn't leave. I didn't see. I waited till he left. I stayed where I couldn't. I had to wait till he left that night. She was gonna kill me.
Who was that, Kia?
Yeah, Kia was gonna kill me. I had to wait till he and the whole Diamond clan had to leave. The Lady Diamond, Little Diamond, the Kia Diamond. I mean, all of them. I mean, I literally had to wait in the locker room until all the Diamond clan was
Speaking
out.
of Kia, she chimed in earlier.
yeah.
She said,
She's been chiming in a little bit today.
she said
Look,
her daddy would never be 6 feet under Johnny.
But you know what I meant. Like, it's outside of
you know, she's tougher than 3-day-old meatloaf.
Oh yeah, she ain't lying. Don't mess with her daddy.
I met her down at your at the birthday bash. She seems like a sweetheart.
Oh, she is a.
Hey, Johnny, that's one of my favorite things from her too.
Yeah.
She'll it's not happening forever,
Oh yeah.
but usually when we would go to places, they didn't want them to know that they were associated with me. I mean, I had people waiting at the front with guns and knives and all this stuff, and so for the longest they didn't know my family.
That's right.
And so when we would go to places and I would send them, because I'm all about the sport and they were not licensed. They never came through the locker rooms,
Right.
In those days at all. And, so I get this story one evening, security comes back and tells me, man, we need you up at the front. It's getting a little heated at ticket booth. And I thought, well, shit, I've cleaned toilets. I've sold popcorns. I've sold tickets, but I thought they had somebody selling tickets tonight,
AMW.
Hey, I've done that too. You go up and look. I can't remember what episode, like 188, 187 or something. And I watched that.
Yeah, it was in that vicinity, Scott. I don't remember.
Oh my God. I had that stuff on my forehead. I'm getting sick, John.
Oh no. Smoking them cigars. Smoking them cigars.
It wasn't the cigar as much as it was that toilet that they had me back there for. I go up to the front to the ticket booth, and I asked that lady, yeah, what's the problem? And she points over, at the wife and my 2 kids, and Kia's standing over there with her hand on her hip, with that head bobbing back and forth saying, don't you know who my daddy is? Well, you will now, because here he comes. And so,
that sounds
Kia
like
don't take no mess.
No, she doesn't.
She don't take no mess.
No, she doesn't. And when my daughter would come to KEBW and Daniel as well, I can't.
She is good with those babies.
And I thank you also and Jessica and Austin for taking care of them as well, because.
Oh God.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what I'm getting at.
Man, those girls love them babies.
Yes.
Hell, I remember when you brought baby girl home. But I didn't want to pull down your vibe and everything. Everything's going really well. You guys got it hopping out there. I just wanted to call in for a few minutes and say,
But I don't want to cut you off. I still, no matter what, I can't thank you enough. And a lot of people don't, real fast, so I know you got to go, Scott. A lot of people don't know the towel. Why I wear a towel. A lot of people, when I come out to the ring, a lot of people don't know why I wear a towel. Actually, that was that man right on the phone.
Yeah.
If it wasn't that was he, because the character. He wanted to make the character better. If Scott,
just tweak it a little bit.
Yeah, just a little tweak with the towel, and I do it everywhere I go now, because it keeps the character alive. Keeps me alive.
It's the mystique.
Yes, sir.
When the people see you coming out, they know who it is.
Yeah.
But by God, man, it don't matter.
Yes.
They knew Hogan was under the mask. They knew Dusty Rhodes was under the mask.
Yes, sir.
Doesn't matter. It was the mystique.
And like I said, a lot of people don't know where that came from, and I'm giving you, and I'm giving you, even on this platform and any other platform, and I've told you, Scott Diamond helped Johnny Suede. Scott Diamond, I normally don't say this, helped me bust my ass to get where I am today.
Well, that's my job. I love wrestling, and I know you love it.
Yes.
And I've again, I've probably I've touched more people than a Catholic priest. And
Oh my
God.
Let's not.
That's a great joke, John.
That should have
And so-
never been said, especially for Marines.
That's so funny. Oh,
well,
my
maybe
God.
I should use a different analogy.
Yeah, that was a little too,
Don't change it,
Well-
Scott. Don't change that.
But I'm really grateful that I've been able to be a part of so many young people's careers because, again, I have an underlying motive. I do want to help them. I do want to preserve wrestling, but my underlying motive is, I'm almost done here. And when I'm done, I want to be able to sit and I want to watch the product that I love so much, the sport that has given so much to me. I'd have never done movies had it not been for wrestling. I'd have never done all the TV had it not been for wrestling. Wrestling's been very good to me. There's been a couple of high prices.
And you're also in a music video. Just remember that too.
Yeah, in a rap video.
Yes.
Who would think? When I seen Ric Flair drip, I thought Ric Flair done look stupid. And now here, Scott Diamond does a rap video too. I never thought I'd see those two guys in a rap video.
Yeah.
See,
But,
a lot of people don't know it's you and Haley Shadows are in that video, and the rap video from Chris. I don't know, but you know.
Yes,
who I'm talking
yes, the hybrid rapper.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, sir.
it came to me, and the guy says it was for Out the Window Media was doing this music video, and he said, "Man, look, every time I need a drunk, I come to you." I said, "Okay, well, what drunk are you filming on now?" Because when you see on television they do these reenactments and things like that. Whenever this guy needed, they were doing reenactments and they were using alcohol.
Yes, sir.
They'd call Scott Diamond because Scott Diamond, since October of '83, was the biggest alcoholic to come down the pipe. And so
that tells you my age. I was only 2 years old.
October 23rd of 1983 is the day I got orders of Beirut, Lebanon, and that's when I became an alcoholic.
Well, no matter what.
But also,
Real fast, and I don't mean to cut you off. A lot of people do not know that you are, and some people do know. I thank you for your service. I've told you that before. You and Bobby Doss. If you don't know, and if one thing besides autism and breast cancer, I'm firm and believer in this United States of America, especially the men and women who sacrifice their lives, do not get the credit that they rightfully deserves. There's football players. Sorry, Scott. There's football players.
no, you're good.
There's football players.
Preach it. I'm listening, brother. Preach it.
He knows how passionate I am about our troops. There's football players who's getting $80 million, $20 million, $30 million, and you got guys who are busting their ass overseas and being homeless and having PSD and all that, and they get nothing. But you have $20 million quarterbacks who just throw a football. Granted, I love the sport of football. I love professional wrestling, but my heart belongs to those troops like Scott Diamond, like Bobby Doss, like Widowmaker, and everybody else.
If I may touch on that just a little bit, I don't want to take your time up, Johnny. This is supposed to be about you tonight, not me.
I appreciate that.
But, just a survey with you three gentlemen, how much do you think they pay the Vietnam vet to go to Vietnam in 1968?
Not enough.
No.
Exactly.
My dad was
$75.
Yeah, my dad was
$75.
My dad,
Men died for $75 in 1968. When I got orders to Beirut, Lebanon in October of 1983, how much do you think Scott Diamond was making?
Not enough.
$534 a month
That's still not
to
enough.
go over there and stop bullets.
That's still not enough.
yeah.
So I just wanted to put that in perspective, John. You're talking about these football players making and these athletes making all this money,
Yes, sir.
which they do.
Yeah, they make crazy
And
amounts.
it's disgusting.
Correct.
To me, it is disgusting that our young men and women go and put their lives on the line for not even 5% of what the athletes are being paid here back home. And then disrespecting us by kneeling during the I don't want to get into all that again. This is
Does
you guys.
that make, well, if you
This would be
go-
a whole nother show, Andy.
Yeah, that's right.
real fast,
I just want to call in real quick and say those things to Johnny and then Andy. I've got a couple of things I'd like to say to you and then to Johnny Lee, if I may.
Go ahead.
Well, Andy, You know, I'm a Scotch and bourbon guy. You've seen me in the office there. I know you've seen me out with my Cuban last week, the week before, whatever. And I heard earlier. I'm sorry?
I said you need to stop with that. That's why you're...
It's exactly why I am. But if Winston Churchill can sit there during the Blitzkrieg and smoke a cigar, I'll tell you what, the day that Scott Diamond goes down, I want you all to go to the grave site, and I want you to pass around the Cuban.
No, I'm putting a cannoli in your grave.
Lord.
You know where I'm going with that one.
For 2 cannolis, I'd come out there right now. In my pajamas. And I don't wear pajamas, so we're all in for a fight.
I can imagine you in like some silk pajamas or something.
You had said you had a little bourbon and a cigar the other day that made you sick.
It did, yeah. I hadn't smoked a cigar probably 3 or 4 years, man, and I was sitting there drinking the bourbon. I was on the Moose Lounge podcast, and I think he cut it out of the bourbon. I was on the Moose Lounge podcast, and I think he cut it out of the podcast for me. But I told him he could leave it in. I'm not embarrassed of anything that I do. And I was drinking a bourbon, and I was smoking a cigar, and I was puffing on that cigar, man. I got that thing down pretty small, and the nicotine in the bourbon kicked in, man. I was like, I had to go to the bathroom. I got a little nauseous, but I recovered pretty quick.
You know, when I started drinking and smoking, I had that same problem when I turned 6.
Yeah.
But you got to leave that alone. That's for the old guys. You know, George Burns, he lived to be like, I believe it was 103.
Man, this guy out there, you got to go on that guy's podcast. If you want to smoke some cigars and drink some bourbon, we'll get you over there on the Moose Lounge podcast, man. And
where's he located?
He's here in Lexington. It's at his place, his own place, because he wants to be able to smoke the cigars, and I can't smoke up here in the studio because I don't own the place, but
we can drink.
Man, you can't smoke hardly anywhere anymore.
Yeah, but he smokes in his house, and he's got like jars and stuff of these cigars that he gets in. He's got some great ones, and he's got some. I mean, we were drinking some really good bourbon too. So we'll have to. Me and you have to go over there. I'll have to book us.
Hook it up, Andy. Hook it up.
Yeah, I'll get us.
We'll go over there and flame on.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's right.
Damn, now you got my mind. I might have to go over here and cut the neck off of this one and smoke it.
Yeah, I'll get a hold of him and we'll make that happen.
Yeah, all it takes is bourbon on ice and a good stogie, and I'm there.
Oh yeah, he has some really good bourbon over there. We was drinking some really good stuff. I mean, he's got a bunch of good stuff over there.
Well, hell,
I actually went over and done a podcast with him. I think it was like an hour and 45 minutes just talking about our podcast. And, he was interviewing me and stuff, and we talked about wrestling. And
that ain't gonna touch no 4 hours. That ain't gonna touch 4 hours and 15 minutes.
That's right.
No, your name came up a couple times, so you might want to listen to the podcast.
Where can I find that at? I'll go over there.
It's on Spotify.
Moose Lounge.
It's the Moose Lounge podcast. It's only audio. It's not a video.
Spotify. What is that?
It's an app on the
Spotify is an app where you can listen to music, podcasts, and television shows if you want to. All you gotta do is download the app. It's called Spotify, Spotify.
Actually, the Nice Guy Indie podcast is on Spotify too.
That's right too.
I understood all of that about as much as y'all will understand me. How?
I'll send you.
I'll
send you the
link.
link.
I will.
We'll tell Austin to download it for you.
Right on, Andy. Right on. You know where I'm going, brother.
Yeah, we'll tell Austin about it.
He's my technical wizard right there.
We'll get Austin to hook you up. Man, he's going to be such a star with him knowing the new stuff and the old stuff. He's already such a star.
He studies more taken away from it sometimes than just listen.
Yeah.
But nowadays, Austin, I watch a little bit of footage now and again still, or scouting some people.
Yeah.
And, but Austin really, he puts in his homework. I'm really proud that, he's not making his bones off of Scott Diamond. He's breaking his own ways. He's doing his own thing. He's getting his own bookings. Now, I'm not going to say that I didn't maybe get him a booking or two, but, some of these bookings he's getting on his own, and I'm really proud of him. He's coming and telling me what's going on more than I'm coming and telling him anymore.
Hell yeah.
I mean, you've taught him right.
So he's, we don't do what we do thinking that we're going to get praise from it one day, but I really think if he stays on the path that he's on, he will definitely be a Hall of Famer as well. I'm really proud of him. Again, a lot of it because he's making his own bones.
He started a long time ago, but he's just starting. If that makes any sense.
I believe in him.
Oh yeah, guys like Johnny Suede, they watch him literally. They watched him grow up.
Yeah,
that's right.
I
remember
watching him grow up. I mean, he's respectful, and everything, and he asks. He's like a young wrestler, but he's very respectful, and I don't care if anybody knows, but I call Austin my little brother because Austin Diamond is my little brother. I enjoy not just outside professional wrestling, but Scott Diamond, the man, Scott Diamond, and Austin Diamond and Jessica Diamond. I love them guys because, like I said before, I am not who I would be without that man and those men who decide to give me that craft. Yeah, he said some mean things. Oh well, I shook it off, dusted it off, got right back up.
It pissed him the fuck off. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have meant to you as much as he told you the truth, and then you took that as like, this is the truth. I got to fix this because I love this business and I want to go ahead and do this more. I want to do this.
I was living in Ohio at the time, and then when I moved from Ohio to Kentucky, at the time, I didn't know where I was going. I just didn't know what was what.
Yeah.
And the time, my trainer, I didn't have the greatest trainer in the world, and I came down to Kentucky to better myself for that reason.
Yeah.
And he knows this. He knows the story. And that if I went to him, they wouldn't book me. I get it.
Yeah.
I sucked.
Well, you was smart enough to know that this man knows what he's talking about, and he's telling me the truth.
Correct.
So I need to fix my problem because it's not his.
But he gave me the knowledge.
Yeah.
Him, Johnny Bad, Tomahawk, Larry, Roger Ruffin, Tracy. Scott knows how I'm passionate about Tracy Smothers. Those guys.
Oh, Tracy and I are good friends, man. I wish. You know what I should have done, Johnny, is when he was calling me at 3:30 in the morning, I should have given him your phone number and said, "Call your ass."
But it's guys like that. It's Terry England, Larry Jones, all them guys. I learned. I mean, a lot of people won't give him credit, but Jim Chadwick, God rest his soul too. But the thing is, Cujo actually gave me my break. I know Cujo is not around anymore. I mean, but I give everybody credit because I wouldn't be where I am without all these people who helped me. That's the thing. Nobody gives back anymore. That's what Scott Diamond bestowed upon me. Passion.
Yeah, you have to. You have to give back, and you have to have a passion. You have to. Bobo Brazil, as everybody knows, is what started me on the path of wrestling in '71. But even Rick. I mean, all these guys, they've got that. They got that passion, and they were superstars. But the thing is, wrestling couldn't stop when they stopped.
Correct.
If it would had stopped when they stopped, we wouldn't be here. So they did their job, and they taught guys like me, guys like Anthony Presley, Terry England, Larry D. We learned from some of these old guys, and they taught us, you're going to be gone, but wrestling has to live on. And in order for it to do that, we have to pass the torch and teach it correctly so that it will continue to live. Because a lot of people don't remember. I mean, Johnny wasn't around yet. Andy, I'm not sure when you were born, but, in the late 60s, we almost, mid to late 60s, we almost lost wrestling because they went on strike with the Actors Guild.
Yep.
Anyone can put, the puzzle together right there.
Right.
So that almost killed our business.
And that's almost like the baseball strike, and some people don't remember that.
Sean Johns is joining us in the studio now. What's up, Sean?
I'm sorry, guys. My shoe job.
Pull the mic down a little bit.
My shoe job just kind
Oh,
of.
Sean is on. Oh, the TV went off on me. I guess you guys disappeared on me. I was watching you as we were talking. So Sean is in the room now?
Yeah.
He's in the room.
Yes.
Well, before I say anything to Sean, I just real quick, because I'm taking too much time from you guys. This is all about you guys, not me. Johnny Suede, I appreciate you getting that fire under your ass. I'm glad that I could be that one to motivate you to do so. We've had a lot of great times. Keep charging hard, and remember an old man when you get famous and you're doing all these podcasts and things. Andy, you and I, cigar and bourbon the next time we get together, make it happen.
And Scott, never apologize for calling in on this podcast.
Yes.
That's right.
You're always invited, and definitely tonight because you're a part of Johnny Suede's story. So, yes, please do.
Words, and I've even told you in text and messenger and phone calls. I can't.
Yeah, we broke bread together. Now it's out.
That's right.
We'll have
Like 75 pounds on them sons of bitches.
or Scott, or some Chick-fil-A or Zaxby's, or you know where I'm going with this, or some rallies.
I'm food.
Oh,
Yeah. Hey, actually, I might be out that way tomorrow.
Okay.
I just put in some French doors, and I'm going to go out there and trim them out. So I'll be out there tomorrow.
Okay.
Again, Andy, great thing you're doing. You and I, bourbon and a cigar. Next time I see you, keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Johnny Lee, brother, Austin Diamond's got your back. I got Austin's back. So, brother, you're in good standings right there, because whoever messes with you, they got to deal with the Diamond Cartel, and that's a whole new ball game, because that is when business picks up. Now, Sean Johns, you're a little late, so I got something for you too.
That's my shoe
I want to.
job.
That ain't what your mama said.
Scott? Andy? No. Go ahead, Scott.
All right, before I was so rudely interrupted,
Sean,
I'm trying to give credit. I try to give Sean some credit here, because he's out there, selling his ass on the corner at a shoe job after hours. He got off of his job earlier. You guys didn't know he works 2 jobs. During the day, he works down at the bus station sucking farts out of bus seats. So I want to say, Sean John, man, I commend you. You work not only your day job today, you work your night job too. And so, brother, you keep working, and when you get off tonight, bring me my cash.
Yes,
Gentlemen,
yes.
it's always a pleasure.
What up, Kirk?
Sean, if I just came in the office, if I give him the phone, it'd be over. So I'm not going to do that. You guys keep up the good work. Suede, remember what I told you, brother.
Yes,
You believe in yourself,
Yes, sir.
and everybody else will believe in you too.
Hey, I'm gonna do.
Good night, gentlemen.
Hey.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a quote from you. Diamonds are forever.
That's right.
So is Scott.
You know it, baby.
Love you.
You
brother.
know it.
Love you.
Love you guys. Take
Hey.
care.
Thank you, Scott.
Goddamn.
Good night.
Sorry. Shoot job at the last minute.
That was Scott Diamond on the phone calling in to talk to Johnny Suede.
And his wisdom is always valuable.
Man, he's such a great guy, ain't he? Like, he's so smart. Like I was saying, Tracy Smothers' name comes up on this podcast a lot, but so does Scott Diamond. So, like, almost
And,
just as much.
Jonathan Barnes, you're right. There's no excuses, but when the shoe job calls, the shoe job calls. Bro.
And
That's right,
Henry
kid.
Shaw wants me to ask you, how many 5-finger Death Punch shirts do you have?
Oh. Well, won't you hold on.
read Austin's.
Okay, I know I'm going to do a little plug. He's got a show coming up. I know he's
February 25th, yeah.
Yeah, February 25th, and I think he's got somewhere in his hometown of Saylorville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Somewhere in March, but too many, Henry. Too many.
We're going to try to make that 25th show.
That's right. And Austin died.
Him and actually, if you don't know, Crash Action was on AEW Dark.
Hell yeah.
Actually, I had the pleasure of wrestling Henry Shaw and Crash Jackson as Control Chaos, which I've learned a lot from both of them. And actually,
Henry's so funny.
Nothing but love and respect for Henry.
He came
Shaw.
on our show, man. It just cracked me the hell up.
Him, Marcus Johnson, Adam Nuisance, who everybody on the new promotion that he works for, Alliance or something like that.
Don't you have Henry booked again?
Yeah.
Not yet.
No.
But, I mean, like I said, Henry Shaw, nothing but love and respect for him as well. Learned a lot from him as well. I
Great
remember
guy.
It was a tag team match. It was me and another tag team partner known as Dark Insanity, and little funny story. Crash was getting ready to run and slipped. And yeah, but Al Snow was in the audience at KZW that night. Me and it was myself and Repic, who was known as Dark Insanity, and Dustin Kennel, and Dustin Kennel was the special guest referee. It was Control Chaos versus Dark Insanity. We beat them, of course. I used the neighborhood bat.
Lucille.
Yes, Lucille caught Mr. Crack Jackson over the head, and me and Repic became the tag team champions. But but Henry Shaw, I've learned a lot from in this business, which I'm forever grateful for him too as well. I met him in BCW, and then him and Crash and Super Assassin, one of my arch nemesis, my best friend. A lot of people know Mr. Graceland too as well, but I can't stand that guy. But Super Assassin, my best friend, who I've traveled.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody knows he's my best friend. My brother Sebastian Cage, my brother Matt Suede, who can no longer wrestle. I have so many friends and family that I'm grateful for. Malicious Suede is my manager. Zoe Nightshade is slowly, we're slowly discrediting each other, but she's doing another thing, and I'm gonna use Malicious now. But Mike Murphy, I'll get him sooner or later. Yeah, I was reading while y'all was talking to Scott Diamond. There's a person that I seen, Miss Nancy Roberts. I seen that you on there. I'm trying to. And then Hayden, Mr. Hayden.
Yep.
I seen him at the Rupp Arena. I thank him, by the way. Too many thankfuls. But
And Austin Diamond wanted to say to you, Johnny, he said, I appreciate the kind words from Suede, John Lee, and Pops. I just hope that eventually I'm successful enough to be valued enough to get my own microphone at a podcast that I'm booked at.
Who is that?
Austin Diamond.
Austin, you've been on this podcast 3 times, and I gave you a microphone twice.
Austin Diamond.
I'm sorry that you didn't get to talk last time because Bobby Blade was in here and Scott Diamond talked for 4 hours.
Hold on. Hold on. You got to understand. It's okay.
Book him by himself one time.
Okay. God rest his soul. Jim Chadwick is no longer alive.
Yeah.
Who do you think Blade got that from? Jim Chadwick.
That's right.
That's why. If you don't know the story, that's the reason why. Yeah. Bobby Blade is Jim Chadwick incarnate.
Yeah.
That's why. I love Bobby Blade to death because I asked him for some advice, and
he's always there to reach out. And everybody check out Bobby Blade's YouTube channel.
Just a little plug there,
Yeah, that's what we do here.
That's right. We love to give credit where credit is due.
That's what we do here. We plug everything.
What's up, my man? Thank you for watching.
Who is it?
Donnie Green.
Donnie Green.
But Austin, I remember he was a little guy, and just
he's been giving me shit since he's been on the show. Like I booked him on the show too, but Bobby Blade and Scott Diamond came on together, and they talked 4 hours.
6 hours.
But you got
No, it's 4 hours.
It's 4 hours
4 hours and
13
13
minutes.
minutes.
But you got to understand, you got the seasoned and you got the young buck.
Yeah.
So
But he's been on the show. Like he's been on the show like twice before that.
It don't matter.
He sit over there with his own microphone.
Yep.
He's going to.
He
Because
should tell me he didn't how to give him a microphone.
you know what
He's just giving me hell.
because he learns from his daddy.
Oh, he's
Yep.
great. He's
That's
he's
right.
great. I love Austin Diamond. He's a great guy.
We took him to AEW.
I know. Remember, I was there.
Yeah, we took him to AEW with us.
Sorry to break up the disrespectful night.
Calm down.
I would have took anybody else with us.
I told them to wait for you.
I did too, and Johnny was like, "Man, I ain't waiting for that guy. Let's get the hell out of here."
That was not me.
John, don't
it was all him.
No,
he
sir.
said he can't wait to get you in the hallway.
Hey, me and him was actually in contact. That little fact here, we were messaging. I was trying to get y'all to stay so we could do a segment.
Exactly.
Pardon me.
Whatever. Johnny can't tell the truth.
Pardon me. I had to pee.
Yeah, I know, right?
God forbid, I was watching a.
That was Johnny. He was like, "Man, aren't you waiting for that guy?" He's like, he's,
God forbid,
we got to get out. He said, "Wait till I get him in the hallway.
I got the
I'm gonna
proof on my
show
phone.
him. I'm gonna show him who Superfly
is. I got the proof on my phone. That
phone will let you write anything you want, Johnny.
Superfly. What is he? He's not Jimmy Fly.
He is Superfly Johnny Lee because he's Superfly. Look at him. He's always got some nice jacket on.
Hat.
Superfly,
what is he? Chris Jericho Jr.
Chris Jericho wishes that he was me.
Chris Jericho
he stole my idea that
stole
one
his
day.
idea because he called Johnny and was like, "Can I use the sparkly jackets?" And Johnny was like, "No," and Chris was like, "I'm gonna use it anyway, man." He said, "Wait till I see you in the hallway."
For everyone else.
Yeah.
Well, okay, listen here, Dolph Ziggler Jr. As well, Mr. Sparkles.
Yeah.
You didn't know I know that about that.
My Dolph Ziggler?
Yeah. No.
Oh, him. Okay, I thought
you got Chris Jericho and Dolph Ziggler too.
Okay.
Because remember, Dolph Ziggler does the shiny thing. So does.
And he does have blonde. He does have blonde hair. It's at the house, but he does have blonde hair. Ooh, Kirk's calling.
I ain't scared of him.
My man Kirk.
What up, Kirkpatrick?
Cool, Kurt. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, guys?
We got Johnny Suede in the studio, as you know. Would you like to say something to Johnny Suede?
What's up, Suede?
What's up, Mr. Kirkpatrick, Mr. Heartthrob?
You know them days are over.
I know, but hey, it's.
He is the heartthrob. Look at him. He's fucking handsome.
He's cool, Kirkpatrick.
He's a fucking handsome man.
Him in his mullet.
His mullet.
Yeah, the greatest mullet I've ever seen.
The greatest.
On the mullet.
One of the.
I made a mistake of trying to hate on the mullet, and
I'm allowed to. Okay. I get that. And you can ask her. I get that privilege because
Kurt's one of the most handsome men in professional wrestling.
If you like going that way,
I don't like going that way. I'm just acknowledging what the facts are, but.
Better looking than
Kurt.
Johnny
if you
don't say about Donnie Green.
What do you say about Donnie Green?
He just said, better looking than Donnie Green, I tell you that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was talking about Johnny.
Donnie Green got he always
Johnny
got that.
Green.
Well, he's always got his beard all trimmed up nice and his hair always he's
a
always on
handsome
point with
man.
that shit.
He is a handsome man, even though I'm not, like.
Now, Now, when I say
see, right now,
I'm
there's
contributing to it.
millions of people out here watching that. Four guys is all agreeing all at the same time about one other guy
when I say
being
it,
so
I'm
handsome.
giving a compliment.
Not
When
me.
Johnny's saying that he's trying to get a
Anything
date.
wrong with that, Kurt.
When I say it as a compliment, when Johnny says that he's trying to get a date, I'm just being the host here.
Are you saying I'm trying to make a date? If I'm going to do something, date somebody, I'm going to
There's too
take
many
Kurt.
Johnnies in this room right now.
Okay, that's Lee. I'm Johnny. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, Glenn, Donnie Green said, old school pimp.
Old school
sir.
pimp,
Yes, sir.
exactly.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
you gotta, one pimp has to acknowledge the other pimp.
See?
And thank you, Donnie Green, for your words on me. He said, our hardest working man in the podcast business.
He really is.
That's right.
Yeah, he is. He does it. I don't think he sleeps. He's like messaging me at 3:00 in the morning. He is. He does it. I don't think he sleeps. He's like messaging me at 3:00 in the morning. I think I got this guy to come on the podcast. I'm like, Johnny, go to sleep.
Okay, Kurt. Okay, Kurt. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Kurt. I forgot Kurt was on the
hello.
No,
yeah.
Kirk is awesome.
I'm just listening to y'all guys. Hey,
Thank you, Kurt.
might not be watching right now, but I'm still listening to y'all.
Oh, well, thank you.
Still getting entertained by the podcast.
Kurt, Johnny said that you was his first or one of his first matches.
Yes. Well,
Was it
I don't know.
horrible then? Like Scott says.
He wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Now the only problem, and I never did say anything because I was just coming into that promotion, he kind of wanted to sandbag in our first match, but I overlooked it.
He wanted to beat you up, huh?
No. It was the other way around.
He didn't want to work with him.
It was not that. I didn't. There's a terminology in our business that, and I know what you're talking about, and and we've both talked about that, and when I went there, and I apologize.
So what's sandbagging mean?
You don't jump. You don't take the move right.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that's why I'm trying to.
So if you don't take the move right, it makes the other guy look bad.
Yep.
Yep.
And
I was in that. Why do you think I learned?
You wasn't doing it on purpose. You just didn't know what the fuck
Right.
he was doing.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. He didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He didn't do it on purpose to you, Kurt.
Correct.
No, but now he does know what he's doing. So
Yeah, and now y'all need a match. Y'all need another match.
somebody needs to make it happen.
Yeah, somebody needs to
There's
make that shit
room in the
happen.
hallway.
There's always room in the hallway.
Well, see, the thing is, though, we actually had the opportunity of actually wrestling, but we didn't. The match wasn't that long, but it was a baby versus baby match. But the other
That
one,
ain't what your mama said.
really,
I didn't.
That is very rude.
Yeah, and
That's rude.
hitting the buttons.
And Kurt and me and Kurt actually had tagged together. We've actually faced in tag matches and wrestled in singles matches, but that one match is when I first started. A lot of people do not give Kurt credit as well. I mean, he's talented. I mean, he's went through some trials and tribulations.
He's a really good friend of the podcast.
He is, but he's a great friend of mine. I consider him a friend and a brother because there's stuff that me and him has great terms. We've never lost great terms on each other. That's one thing. If I needed help with something, I would always ask him. And that vice versa, any person that I needed and respected so much in this business, and Kurt being one, and his wife now is known as Venus at the time, is now Candy Martin. I've known Candy a long time. She was the original member of Bad Company. If you don't know that, Bad Attitude, aka Bad Company, in KCW. I have the rights now because of Candy. But there's so many bad companies, but that's beside the point. Kurt Patrick and I are friends. We help out each other, and from that match, I learned so much from Kurt. It was not the greatest match in the world, but from Kurt, I learned from Kurt.
I appreciate that.
From Kurt, I learned from Kurt.
I appreciate that.
No problem, sir. I told you I've always that's one thing. I might be not like Scott said. I might not be the greatest wrestler, but I've learned over 18 years of doing what I love.
Yeah.
You don't stop learning in this business. I've said that before.
That's right.
Yeah, I was just going to say that you've said that, and it seems like you still want to learn the business, and you're still getting better, and you're still improving.
Oh yeah.
That's how you succeed.
Yeah. Hey, Sean, there's something on top of the bar for you. You want to get it?
Yeah, that's one thing you never stop learning. I've been in it, in about 2 months, be 30 years, and I still learn.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's part of it. And not just coming from me, Scott Diamond can tell you, you ask Ricky Morton, any of them, they'll all tell you the same.
Yes,
But
correct the mundo, sir.
there you go.
Heck yeah.
Damn straight.
And yes, I use the 5-finger death punch Bad Company, Mr. Henry Shaw. and there's another song, well, not in TSW, I can't use because, so I'm actually going back to the Love the Way You Hate Me by Like a Storm. So I love that. It's fits actually, Chris and Andrew sing it all the time when I was at KEPW, so I never stopped using it. But for a while, I was using Bad Company. So, but I mean, me and Super Assassin, we travel together still, because I was the bad guy, I was the villain, and a couple times he had to taste the baseball bat too. Him and Super Assassin. You remember those days, Kurt?
Yes, I have felt the bat too. Yep.
He's felt it.
And now there was, you remember, one of the KZW cage matches they had.
Oh yeah, that actually that,
Me and you actually started. It was like a War Games type cage match, and me and Johnny actually started it out.
Yes, actually, that I remember that. Actually, that was our first cage match together.
Yes, it was.
Yes, and actually, we actually asked. I think it was me. Crap, I don't even remember who it was.
Okay, it's been too long ago.
Right.
Slept since then.
Yeah. Well, it was one of my first actual. It was I think it was UWF versus KZW. It was Cujo's promotion.
Yeah.
And I know it was Kurt. I know it was Cujo. I think it was Oblivion, and I think it was. I don't think it was Sean Christopher because I think Sean Christopher turned that night.
Yeah, he come in and turned during the match.
Yeah, but I forget who else was. I think Tomahawk was part of it.
Yeah.
Johnny Bad. Johnny Bad was in there too. Shoot, I don't even remember.
But what made no sense about that was they had me on the Cujo's team, and I was working for KZW.
Exactly, because you were
that part.
Yeah.
That part did not make no sense to me.
Yes, sir.
You know, why am I working for KZW, but I'm on the opposition team?
Correct.
Even though I was, a bad guy too, but still, it didn't really make that much sense. But
it's professional wrestling, It is,
True.
Tomahawk did a lot of things that didn't make sense. So.
I'm back.
But yeah, we had some good times, and I do cherish your friendship, and like you said, we have each other's back. And there was an incident in a locker room one night, and he was getting heated on somebody, and if it come down to it, and he needed it, I had his back.
And I know where you're going with that, and I never got.
Yep.
And I'm forever grateful for that. And we're not gonna go any further, but I am, and you know what I'm about, and especially when it comes to disrespect, I'm not a firm believer in that. And that night it was just it was a little too much disrespect, and I didn't, and I was tired of it, and didn't care. I didn't care about that situation, and I was just tired of it. But and I'm thanking you for that, by the way.
Yeah, oh yes, I definitely would. Which I don't think anybody else would have took their sides anyway.
Right.
So I think you'd had the whole locker room on taking your back that night.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Kurt, you been wrestling anywhere lately?
Not lately.
Yeah. Taking a little time
just been dealing with some personal issues right now, and but I'm getting ready to kind of start back.
You okay? You can always talk to us.
Yep, you can.
Oh yeah.
Oh, how's that little granddaughter of yours that does like to try to almost run in the ring?
Oh, she's doing great.
Good. Tell her I said
doing great already. She should be 5 this year.
Oh my goodness.
They grew up fast.
Yeah.
I want to tell you a little story. There was, it's long overdue anyway. It was, Kurt was working, announcing. It was me and 2 other guys, and I believe, Candy was, and I think it was Tomahawk, and God, I love Terry Allen. I learned so much, and it was Terry Allen and his granddaughter, or it was Candy or somebody, but I was working heel that night, and she ran, God love her little heart, she ran almost to Candy and whatnot just to get my grandmommy, and it was just right on point. I was like, looked at Candy, it was like, you get that little brat and blah blah blah, just to to keep the heat on me, and it was adorable, but without breaking character and all, I just enjoyed that time because actually you weren't working the microphone yet. You were out in the crowd, Kurt. I remember that now, and I looked at you and everything, and it was just that was an awesome night. And I mean, there was you was trying to break me and everything. It just did not work, and I'm like, it was just so awesome. So yeah, but I wanted to say thank you for that memory, by the way.
Yeah. We all know it was a work, but it threw a hell of a lot of more heat on you though.
Oh yeah.
And I think Candy got a little punch in on you too, probably over it. So.
Yeah. I got tagged for it.
Hey, Kurt, we're gonna let you go, buddy. I appreciate you calling in. We're gonna wrap up the show here.
We appreciate you, Kurt.
So thank you, Kurt.
Hey, I appreciate like y'all. I appreciate your friendship, Johnny and Andy and Johnny Lee and Sean. I appreciate you guys. Love like I say every time, whether it's over the phone, whether I'm there or typing it out. You all make my Wednesday and Thursday nights entertaining.
So last ending words of the song. I think Johnny wants to keep on talking.
Johnny's like, nah.
Yeah, it's all right. Sooner than later. Trust me, she knows me better than a lot of people. But there is one woman I seen earlier, and I don't know if she's listening still. Miss Nancy Roberts, old lady.
I love her.
And then there's Austin. There's so many people I gotta thank. I mean,
Well, I'm gonna let you go though.
Let him finish, Andy.
It was fine.
He was in the middle of it.
But that's like the end.
No,
That's the end part.
no. I'm being hard headed.
Sean, you go.
I'm gonna let Johnny Sway go.
You're fine.
You wouldn't even go. You don't want. I don't usually let the guests go first,
Oh
but
my
You just go ahead, Andy.
God. Okay.
go ahead, Sean.
Sean,
All right.
whatever. Well, I said Andy, but
Yeah.
okay, you're Andy. You're Sean.
I'm Sean.
Sean. Andy. Sean. Andy Griffin.
I could be Andy Griffin.
No.
Michael?
Superfly.
No, it wasn't. That's what I deserve for not showing up on time. I want to thank everybody that was in the comments that said hi to me and gave me a hard time for showing up late. I have no excuse. My shoot job, that's all I'll say. Those that have a shoot job know it. Thank you, Johnny Suede.
Suede.
I said Suede.
No, you said SWAT.
SWAT.
Will you stop?
Johnny
Anyway,
Swad.
don't make fun of the way I talk, sir. And Johnny Lee, looking snazzy tonight. You need a new Andy shirt. You still got a hole in that one.
I do need to get. We need to get some new Andy shirts.
Andy, always a pleasure, boss. Thank
Yeah.
you. Appreciate you. Everybody else then and everybody else at home, stay nice.
That's right.
Oh, we got new tag team champions in AEW.
Oh
Yeah.
wow! I didn't
No
see that coming.
spoilers. No spoilers.
Yeah, no
I didn't see
spoilers.
that coming.
You
It's a
didn't
watch
say-
show. We're supposed to spoil. But go ahead, Johnny.
I just want to say thank you to everyone that tuned in. Scott Diamond, Donnie Green, Henry Shaw, Austin Diamond, all y'all. We appreciate y'all. Kirkpatrick, you're awesome. Johnny Suede, always a pleasure, even when you're a heel. And Andy, for being a good host.
Kurt says another 2 hours.
God.
2 hours and 16 minutes.
No.
That's double pay.
Are you done, Johnny?
Yes, I'm done.
Go ahead, Johnny Suede. This Mr. Dark.
Sweet.
Well, okay. First.
Pull your heart out.
Oh, God. That's what that stain is.
Yeah.
First, I want to thank y'all for having me. First and foremost, a lot of people don't know the personal side of me. I'm very grateful of everything in my life, especially my 2 kids, my stepson. Those are my greatest achievement in the world. I can win any world title, tag team titles. Those are my 2 greatest achievements in the entire world. Are my 2 kids. Is Daniel Suede and Brayley Suede, or and my stepson. Is my greatest achievement. I could die tomorrow as long as those 2 are the happiest things in the world. My professional career, I can't thank Scott Diamond. I know he's going to kill me for this. Dennis Spradlin, a.k.a. Tomahawk Johnny Bad. Larry Jones, Roger Rufford, Kyle Maggard, Cujo, J.L. Thrush. I mean, the list from Paul Harley. The list goes on and on. If I haven't said enough, Kirkpatrick, Nancy Roberts, Malicious Suede, Zoe Nightshade, a.k.a. Kayla Hobbs, her family, Mike Murphy, TSW family, the Cooler Barry, the Cooler, my friendship with you and also JT Down, Jonathan Barnes, your friendship. I mean, so many. The list goes on and on. I don't know. I'm being called, and yes, it's my woman.
Yeah. You can take it if you want.
Okay, hold on one second. Yes, Malicious Suede, you're live, by the way.
Seriously?
Yes, you're seriously live.
Fuck, I dropped my phone.
Are you in prison?
No, she's not in prison.
Well, she dropped the soap. So.
But
Maybe we'll leave prison. I'm at work.
Well, fair enough.
About the same thing, right?
right. But I'm thanking people, and I know I'm live, but I'm thanking you most of all for bringing me back to myself. My life has changed in the last year. She's made me a better man, besides my 2 kids. She's made me the person I am today. Scott Diamond has helped my career tremendously, and I'm grateful for that. Nancy Roberts, her mom, God rest her soul. I mean, the list goes on. I can't thank enough people, especially you guys, for having me on this podcast. From WCCW to KZW to KEPW, Bobby Doss, first and foremost, got me booked at his first show. And I thank Bobby Doss for his friendship. A lot of people, it's just, I can't thank enough. And I know there's little too much time, but I can't thank too many people, especially Malicious, especially to my kids. And everybody else I can't thank enough. But I'm going to jump off here. If there's nothing else, I got to go take care of my...
Awesome, man. Yeah, go ahead. Go.
We understand,
well,
brother.
we usually take pictures, but...
Well, I'll let Malicious, I'll call you right back, okay?
Can we get a couple pictures with you?
All right.
I just wanted to make sure you were safe.
I'm good. All right, I love you.
Okay.
I love you.
We love you.
We love you.
We care about you.
Johnny.
I love you all.
Thank you.
Love you. Thank you.
I love you.
Real quick, I want to read this comment that Fiji left. He said, "Oh, I didn't know there's new trash bag promoting. I dig the color. Good job, Andy, for sharing."
Okay, first, if he's listening, well, if he's reading the captions, I forgot. It took.
Fair enough.
Light bulb went off.
Yeah.
Since you're listening, Fiji, I want you in a tag match. You remember how you said you're retiring soon? There's one match that I want, and besides you versus me, I want you and me versus Ram Jam and his brother with Lady Inferno in our corner.
And Jonathan Barnes as referee.
Fiji's cool, man. He's really awesome. He's been on this podcast twice.
Oh, I was actually watching that podcast.
Yeah,
yes.
and his daughter was really cool too. He's got a 14-year-old daughter.
And he's got a baby boy too.
She came on the podcast, sat down, and actually talked about her dad, and it was really cool.
She stole the show.
She's really a sweetheart, and she told everybody that she was on the show. And shout out to Fiji's daughter. I can't remember her name, but she's a sweetheart. So. But, guys, I want to let everybody know that this is Nice Guy in the Podcast, and we appreciate you guys for calling. And Scott Diamond, we appreciate you every time you call, so never apologize for calling. We're gonna get out of here quick because Mr. Suede has somewhere to go, pick up his girlfriend and wife or whatever she is, and we're gonna get out of here. Thank you guys. Watch Bobby Blade's YouTube channel. Watch Nice Guy in the Podcast YouTube channel.
He says she's 12, not 14.
Okay, 12. Okay.
2 years off.
She's still a sweetheart. she's a sweet person. She's a very nice person. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, check out the Nice Guy Indie Podcast, the YouTube page. Check us out on, what else do we need to know? New South Wrestling.
Yep.
Check those guys out in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. Is it Hilltop, right? Did I say it right this time?
101 Hilltop.
101 Hilltop. I was in Big Hill or something. Hilltop. It's right down the road from the Wild Turkey Distillery, guys. Let us know.
And it's in the old WCCW building.
Get down there, watch a show. The next show is not this Sunday, but the next Sunday afterwards.
Okay.
They're going to have a huge show.
It's February 19th if you actually go to their page.
Okay,
There
February
you go,
19th.
Tony.
That's
February
right.
19th.
And then we're going to be down at, we're going to try to go down to
Allied Pro Wrestling.
Allied Pro Wrestling on the 25th. So we're going to
But
try to
they
get down
also
there
got
too.
shows there too. New South does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got a
Upstart.
comedy show.
Yeah, we got
on
to
the
go.
25th.
They said Upstart.
It's
So
comedy
earlier-
show. Comedy show the 25th.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, but
and
Aaron-
Upstart's the next.
Aaron Rose said
Well,
it's-
Aaron Rose is drunk.
Well, yeah, it's the next day is
Is
Upstart.
Upstart.
On the 26th is Upstart, and the comedy show's on the 25th.
Yeah.
Yeah, so guys, if y'all are in Lawrenceburg or in Lexington, get down there. Maybe some of the podcast guys will be down there. I don't know. I'll probably be in down at Allied Pro Wrestling. But we'll hopefully maybe we'll split
If I
up.
can get my car going, I'm going to the
I'll be coming back from St.
comedy
Louis,
show.
Missouri.
So.
Yeah, maybe we'll be out splitting up some of the guys. But
Spread
I'm gonna
the
get
word.
off here, guys, and check out New South Wrestling down in Lawrenceburg. Check out their YouTube page. Check out their all their Facebook stuff, and those guys are real professionals down there.
And
So
check out Johnny Suede stuff as well.
check out everything. Check out independent wrestling altogether, and
Support
and if you're not having
Dang
fun,
straight.
You ain't getting none.
Damn Skippy.
Yeet, yeet. I don't know.
Nice Guy Andy Podcast. Skullface Records Radio.
It ain't what your mama said.
Yep. If he keeps popping off at the mouth, we could film
gonna
be his dad. Grab me.
Anyways.
Like he just earlier.
You guys go on your little rinky-dink bullshit podcast.
This is a Zodiac, and I'm telling you now, meditate, elevate, and dominate. Do it with the Nice Guy Indie Podcast.
hell yeah! Thanks, man.
Those were expensive shoes, you know. You guys cut from me.
Oh, dear Lord.
We out of here.
Steen Sierra's my favorite wrestler.
Out.
We gone.
Nice guy.
So here
Nice
is
guy.
an issue. Retirement had been postponed, and kicking your butt will just help me retire
Nice
faster.
guy.
How would you feel going other round? I think about
Nice
doing
guy.
tag, but right now I just want to test new stuff with you, Suede.
Tag these nuts.
That's Fiji Wild Man.
Tag these nuts.
That's Fiji Wild Man.
I'll look at it.
Tag these nuts.
Instead of tag team at you, hey,
Tag me.
he wants to wrestle you instead of tag.
No. Here you go.
What is that?
It's a joint.
Woo! Is that the cannolis you're talking about?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm not allowed to do drugs. I ain't never done drugs, so.
All right.
Neither have I.
Sure.
And
Yes, I'm sure.
It ain't what your mama said.
that ain't what your mama said.
Never my
Hey, leave him his mama out of this. I mean, she was on me last night.
Oh, wow.
This is a Zodiac.
This jerk over here.
Anyways, you guys
Popping off at the mouth.